Greetings and welcome to this week's Wednesday Ramblings. This is the sixth and final week of the message series, Where is God? This weekend, the gospel passage is the story of Peter coming to Jesus and asking him, Lord, how many times do I have to forgive my brother? Is 7 times enough? Well, they're not his exact words. He was thinking he was being extremely generous by using the number which speaks about the eternal number, the number 7. But Jesus retorts very quickly, not 7 times, but 77 times. And then he goes on to tell a most extraordinary parable, the parable of a man who owed 10,000 talents. If you looked at a talent in today's currency, and I did a quick calculation, it's something like $31 billion. Now, there might be a few people in the world who could possibly owe another person that much money, but there aren't that many. And for a simple servant to owe that much is just, it beggars belief. And so the Lord actually forgives his debt. And then when the man goes away, as we're told in the passage, he saw a friend, another servant, who owed him 100 denarii. Now, that's 100 days work, 100 days labor, which is, I suppose, somewhere in the vicinity of $25,000 to $30,000, depending on what you consider to be the basic salary. Now, in anyone's language, $25,000 to $30,000 is a fair amount of money. And so you could say, yes, I wouldn't mind having that money given back to me. But if I've just been forgiven 31 billion, then maybe I should have thought about it. And we're told that the servant didn't. He beat his fellow servant and put him into prison, and the other servants were admittedly and very properly angry. And so the first servant was cast into jail, and we're told, until he could pay the total debt, which is an impossibility. He was basically condemned. And yet, so often, we can be in the position of the servant who struggles to forgive somebody else. And yet, if we stopped and thought about the incredible mercy and the love of God who forgives us so much, then obviously we wouldn't hold debts or hold grudges against another person. But I suspect it's a very brave person to say that they don't hold a grudge at some stage. So where do we find God in the story? We find God in the incredible and all-embracing mercy that he was prepared to show to those who begged for forgiveness, begged for mercy, and he did. But there is a catch, and the catch, I suppose, is the real challenge of life. We actually have to respond. We actually have to say yes to this gift, and we have to turn our own lives around so that we may be embraced by God's incredible mercy. So as we enter into this final week of the message series, Where is God? We're being reminded that God is all around us. God's mercy is all around us, but there needs to be a response. And so it comes up and picks up that phrase from Matthew's Gospel, from the version of the scriptures that we call the Message series by Eugene Peterson, to live generously and graciously towards others as God lives towards us. And then we will truly find God in the everyday. Have a great week. Look forward to seeing you next week as we begin a new message series.